$36 million saved in 8 years of managing construction projects. And that was just what one strategy I used while managing over 143 projects saved. If you don't know who I am, I'm Josh Lipker. I create these videos from my 10 years of experience managing projects upward of $300 million. I've seen subcontractors use prefab and trademark building practices, but there are 3 keys to saving more money on a project that can be implemented tomorrow. The construction industry is cutthroat. We're all trying to find ways to cut costs and create some profit from a bare bones bid. The good news is, now that you've found my video, I can help you keep more profit where you might be losing it. Today, I'll break down my 3 keys to ethically and creatively finding more profit. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. If you're looking for content on subcontracting finance and operations, please like the video and hit the subscribe button below. And with that, let's get into it. The first step to this strategy is spend money quick. One way to save money is to spend it today. I know it sounds completely counterintuitive, but when you sign a subcontract, it becomes a race against the clock to procure all of the third-tier subcontractors and material. It's not a matter of if commodities are going to go up. It's almost guaranteed that every 4 months, material costs are going to go up 5 to 10% across the board. So realizing that, prioritize submittal of all material, then do a bulk purchase. 3 things happen when you do that. You will get the best pricing from vendors. You will have material on hand the day that you need it. And you will realize the revenue of about 30% of a project within the first 90 days of starting. Here's a quick example from a project I worked on. We had a runway completely demolished and rebuilt in 90 days. My team worked diligently to put all of the electrical submittals in to the general contractor within 3 days of notice to proceed. Knowing those would be approved because the team was extremely meticulous to correct them, we started the buyout quote of 90% of all the commodities and all of the longer lead items. We only had 30 days to prepare for the work, so we started to leverage all of the PM time we could up front to be successful. At the end of the project, our material budget was supposed to be $2.5 million, but we only ended up spending $1.8 million. We avoided cost escalation by bulk purchasing and paying off the material within 30 days of receiving. That's a $700,000 savings in one project. That brings me to point number 2. Pay your bills as fast as you spend the money. One of the most underrated ways to make money on a project is to pay quick to receive discounts from your vendors. Many material vendors at the bottom of every invoice say, save 5% off this invoice if paid by 30 days from invoice date. That's really hard to do for small businesses, but when you have a 6-month emergency fund set up, you can create additional profit by leveraging it if you aren't paid within 30 days of the material landing on site. Here's a tip for this one. Have the material vendor quote storage at a local facility. That way it can be delivered within 24 hours of being requested. When that gets received at the storage facility, request the certificate of insurance and pictures so you can bill for that material plus overhead and profit immediately. You may not actually receive that material on site for several months, so while it's not invoiced to you, you will still have collected the money and ready to pay the invoice when it hits. That brings me to step number 3. Break out the material as a line item on your schedule of values. Schedule of values should never be based on your bid numbers. That's part of your company's proprietary strategy to win projects. So break down what the labor portion of a task is and lump all the material into different areas on the schedule of values. That will help you bill for your material, which is generally 20 to 40% of a project cost within 90 days. You are protecting the owner, your client, and your company by protecting against material cost escalation. For those who think more profit is equivalent to being less ethical, ethically, you are still competitively bidding projects and winning the work. You aren't price gouging because if you run into any hiccups from the design team approving submittals or anything else, you are still protected at the full price of those same materials. You are creating additional profit from great business practices. But I want to hear what you think. Leave a comment if you have any tips for procurement, or am I just blowing smoke? Remember, the only reason you started your business was to have financial freedom and less stress working for someone else. So stop the cycle and go thrive.